This is an emergency toolkit only. Every car should have one. You shouldn't be transferring it from car to car because you're never going to remember. These are the essentials that you have to have, in my opinion, every day to do basic repairs. Even if you don't know how to repair your own car, these tools can come in handy when other people stop to help you. Now let's get into it. This is a toolkit that you don't touch, that you leave in your car. And with my truck, I don't think there's a ton I can repair because of all of the modern sensors, but it never hurts to have an emergency kit in addition to your normal toolkit that you carry during the day. I know we got a lot of flack from the boomers in the last video about some of my tools being clean. This should be a clean set that you're not using, proven tools that you have experience with, and we're gonna leave them there. We'll link down in the description to our last video where we discussed all the tools I carry for the day when we're doing maintenance. I carry all these tools in a roll. I've gone back and forth, but I think a roll under the seat is the safest way to carry these tools because they can fly around. And if you were in an accident, you don't want anything flying around in the cabin of your car. You want everything tethered down or under a seat. So this goes under my rear of my seat. Let's start out with the Noco charger. I've always carried a jump pack or jumper cables, but now I carry a jump pack. This is USB-C chargeable. This is the Genius, the Boost HD 2000 amp. I drive a heavy duty truck. I only have one battery in this one. Some of our fleet has dual batteries, but I think this is capable of all of our fleet vehicles and able to jump a diesel truck. It has a flashlight on the front, and I think these jump packs are pretty good. Now I choose this Carhartt tool roll, and I think the tool roll, again, is the easiest way if you're on the side of the road or you're in a dirty environment to work. On the outside of the tool roll, I have two tools. I have a Wild JP2032MP. This is a pry bar. It has an indexing point here to push through something for an alignment, and it also is very robust. It's full metal. This is in addition to the pry bars that I keep on my truck. I also carry, this is probably an 18-inch or 20-inch breaker bar. I would recommend a name brand. I'll link a few down below in the description for you. And this is a 1/2-inch breaker bar, good for lug nuts and for not breaking your ratchet. When you undo your tool roll, you'll see that it's compartmentalized, and you'll want to oil these tools so that they stay in good condition because the climate, depending on if you park outside like I do, will sway drastically inside of your vehicle. Let's start on the left. This is not in order of importance. This is just how they happen to be assembled for me. Here, I have a Mill Bastard file, and I keep this in a protective wrapping. And this is good to keep in a protective wrapping because you don't want it chafing against your other tools. So it provides some protection as well as some rust protection. And a file is an invaluable tool when working with metal. This is a different Baco. Last time in our tool video, I showed you the one we use for maintenance. This one has a jaw here that allows you to get onto many different size fasteners. It's probably going to ruin them because of the teeth, but this is a very common wrench. This is very common in an 8-inch size for dealing with fasteners in the marine industry, but it's a very versatile wrench. And we had a lot of the haters say they don't make Imperial and they don't make metric adjustable wrenches. Well, it's not true. If you look right here, you'll see the gradation on the teeth here so that you can approximate how many millimeters the fastener is. So right now, I'm at 10 millimeters, which would be the approximation of the fastener. This will help you to know the size, and these kind of wrenches are notorious for rounding things over. So you wanna make sure that you don't have a lot of slop here, and you also wanna make sure that this gradation is here because then you do know approximately what size the fastener is. If you come off and wanna go to a socket or an open-end wrench, I'm right as always, here it is. I use 1/4-inch drive sockets. We're not gonna work on a ton of super heavy duty stuff, so we don't need 1/2-inch. We will carry 1/2-inch and 3/8. These again are impact rated Makita versions. I do carry a drill and an impact driver in my kit regardless. And there is the adapter to go from 1/4-inch shank to a ball detent that will go on to these, and they are kept in these really nice protective coatings. You can get a kit all in one that's separate, but I found that these Makita versions do the job. So this is the 1/4 inch set. And I also have the 3/8 inch set, which will sneak out here. These have the adapter as well. I did take one of the adapters out to save on a little space. One of the most versatile tools you'll have is a screwdriver and flathead. This one is a USA made Craftsman, but if I were buying one right now, this one's been beat on, which is not what is recommended for using. I would probably get the Wera, and we linked that the last time. I'll link it again. And I think that that one's definitely what I would recommend over this Craftsman, unless you own one of these old Craftsmans or unless you want to invest in something like a Snap-on. But again, this is a tool set you're not going to touch. So ideally, unless there's an emergency. So while you want quality tools, I'm not sure having a $100 screwdriver in a bag you never use is necessarily the best option unless money is not an issue for you. I think I plugged these before. These are the Knipex 8210 200s. These are the twin grip pliers. These have a screw and bolt extractor on the end and are generally great. These or the Snap-ons are probably the gold standard in adjustable pliers. So I did that before, but you're getting it again. It's my patented move. Next, this is a little bit of a gimmick. I don't know if I trust this thing. I bought it online, very popular on the internets, and it got good ratings, but this is a adjustable 1/4 inch and 3/8 inch ratchet. This has versatility. If you have room, I would probably carry both in a nicer brand, but this extends up to 13.5 inches. That's probably too much torque. But in an emergency, it probably does both. This is a redundancy to what I normally carry, so I'm willing to risk it. Probably not worth it if this is your only toolkit and you don't do construction for a living and have extra tools sitting in your truck. Yeah, baby, got the extension. I don't have an OnlyFans, but you can donate somewhere. You know, I had a thing for the twin grips, but this is really, if you're in a bind, the best as well from Knipex. This is the Pliers wrench, basically every size fastener all the way up to 52 millimeters from 12. I mean, that's really an incredible range. And what's great about this is when you press with pressure here, you don't need to grip very strongly here. When you start putting pressure on the fastener, it self-locks, it cams, and it locks in there. So it requires you just to push and it holds itself. You don't need to put a death grip on this. So really you can spend all of your energy with this force vector rather than this vector and this vector, which is bad for your arm and very difficult to maneuver. So really it's just all about pushing. I use these pliers all the time in my job, but if I were to only have one thing and you took away my sockets and my wrenches, this would be the tool that I would have. And really this will get you out of a lot of jams. So should be in every toolkit and definitely every emergency toolkit. These are generic versions of the vice grip, and Irwin makes the standard vice grip. Now it's out of patent. Malco, I believe, makes the best version. You can get a pair of these at your home store or on Amazon. We'll link down to the premium model. This is just a standard model, but really pretty good version. This is the standard head. They also make a needle nose, which is good for if you have a classic car, pinching off fuel lines that may have deteriorated, but this is a tool to have. I see some guys with these as their handle on their window crank. Hell yeah! So, classic car guys all have these everywhere. Vim tools is a standard in the industry now. They were sort of unheard of, and now they've risen to fame. This will allow us to do 5/16 on one side, which will adapt to 1/4 inch sockets. And on the other side, we can go to standard bits. So we can drive in close quarters at 90 degrees. This is something that I definitely recommend. Also for hose clamps. This is a great tool, and it's surprisingly robust even though there's some plastic here. We're still on the Knipex tear here, babe. We got the Cobras. The Cobras are great. This is a little pair. I keep a big pair on my truck normally. So again, realize that this toolkit may be a little bit different than the one I keep in the classic car, but this is a good size for working inside of an engine bay. It's not too big. This is the 8801180, I believe. This is German quality and definitely something in your toolbox that you should have, as well as your emergency tool roll. Geez, got even more Knipex stuff. These are the bolt cutters, and these are the 7710 250s. These have an incredible amount of torque that you're able to bring, and I think this is great if you needed to legally cut a chain link fence or something else in an emergency. So this is something you should have. This is not the master key, but these are pretty close to the master key. Got a pair of dikes here from Klein Tools. I think they pretty much make the best American-made dikes. You can also get a pair of Knipex, but if you're looking for end pliers and you're an electrician, you probably carry these. I'm not an electrician, but I don't want to fool with the boys. They would make fun of me if I had anything but these two, and these aren't the cushion grip ones. The importance in your car toolkit is to get the sleek handles. The cushion grips may feel better if you're using them all the time, but when you have the cushion grips, they just take up too much space. So we're trying to roll this up, so we want to use something as sleek as possible, and that's why the Klein dikes are the best. These are more Kleins. I think this actually might have come in a kit from my favorite home store. Needle nose pliers. There are a few different brands. I think I link a Japanese brand as my favorite. They make some really good affordable pairs that are like 15 bucks. These might be a little bit more because they're US made, but I think the Japanese do just as well when it comes to needle nose and precision pliers. Knipex, also if you wanted to buy the entire set, which we'll link down below, is great, but for minor work and even for professional work, I don't think you can go wrong with a pair of Klein, anything made in the USA. So needle nose pliers gotta be in your kit. This is the Milwaukee ratcheting screwdriver. It's an intermediate size. You're not going to bang on this or anything, but it does have maybe 8 different size bits here. You'll get your flatheads, your number 2, your number 1 Phillips, and some square drive. And I think this will ratchet and be fixed, and definitely a tool that is needed everywhere. You should carry a better set of screwdrivers, but if I only had one of these multi-bit drivers is better. The European brands like PB Swiss are superior, but this one is very inexpensive, and this or the Klein would be my choice for the budget. If you wanted an American-made one, Williams would be a good brand, or Klein if they do have an American-made one. I don't think they're made in America anymore. And then if you want the best, the Europeans, the Vihas, the PB Swisses. But again, this is an emergency toolkit. Hopefully you never have to dig into this. So this is the Milwaukee driver, multi-driver. This is a 3/8 inch, 6-inch extension, which allows me to get into tighter places with my ratchet and my socket set. And I think that this is a great tool to carry. Last but not least, I have an American truck, but all the fasteners are metric. So I'll carry an assortment of actually both metric and SAE multi-drivers. Channellox makes decent ones. Williams makes decent ones. Klein, not so great. These are Husky that you can get at Home Depot. These were what I had sitting around, and I hope to never have to use them. So you get 8 sizes right here in each hand. So 4 in metric, 4 in SAE. I think you're cooking with grease. Now we're gonna go to the pockets on the end. I have the same as my Milwaukee, but I have it in the stubby. Don't forget the short boys. For all you short kings, use your short screwdriver. It'll get you out of trouble. This is a right angle screwdriver. I don't really like this one, but it has a lot of bits. And these would go into the Milwaukee screwdriver as well as being able to be used with our Vim tools. So these fit right in the back, like so.
Thank you for your patronage.
I have some desiccant packets in here. Put the desiccant in there. Just like I said, if you don't know if your car is gonna be parked in what conditions and you're going through different seasons, you live in the Midwest like we do, keep some silica gel in there, and this will help your tools from not being rusty, in addition to maybe coating them with some Kroll or WD-40 or something like. So get yourself some packets. These are our spark plug sockets. You get a problem if these are coming out, but maybe if you have a chainsaw or something, you would use these, or a classic car would be great. Don't take up a ton of space. These are my lug nut sockets. They're reversible sockets and a 3-inch extension. And these allow me to deal with 21 millimeter, 19 millimeter, 3/4, and 13/16, and a 3-inch extension. That with your breaker bar, you should be able to change your tire. And that'll be better than the 4-way that comes in your truck and a redundancy that you should have. This is a 3/8 to 1/4 inch adapter. Again, this is all about redundancy. This is an emergency kit. So if you put this on your 3/8 ratchet and you were to break your 1/4 inch, this allows you to spin 1/4 inch with your 3/8. So if you were to put too much torque on your Vim tools and break your ability to use 1/4 inch, then you would move up to your 3/8 to 1/4 inch adapter and still be able to use all of those sizes. This is another 3/8 extension. This one is a 3-inch. This is the standard bit that comes in the Milwaukee that sticks out normally, and this is the standard bit that comes in the Milwaukee Stubby, which sticks out a little bit. And then I'm using the Carhartt branded roll-up. I'm gonna link a few that I've used. I have emergency kit in all my cars, and Carhartt, I think that they make a pretty decent quality product. So don't wear their clothes, but I'll buy their roll-up still. Thanks for coming to look at my emergency kit. If you have something different in your emergency kit, let us know. But I think this is pretty comprehensive, especially with a modern car where you're unlikely to be able to make a repair like you are with a classic car. This should get you out of most trouble and supplement your normal toolkit that you have on your car if you do work in maintenance like we do. So the jump pack, so maybe some more sockets than you normally have, 1/2-inch capability, and some more specialized wrenches. Tell me what I missed in the comments. We're really humbled by all the people who watched our last video. If I could get 1,000 subscribers this year, that would mean the world to me. So if you could like and subscribe, we'd really appreciate it. We have a ton of tool content coming out, and then we also have content about all of the places that we fix up using these tools. Let me know what you want to see. Let me know which tools you want me to review, and I'm gonna go back to swinging a hammer. Have a good day.